But Might be having a communications problem here in that it appears someone's attempting to communicate with me. However, that someone turns out to be the interminable and undaunted JVTV. How are you doing, Mr. JV? You missed my Thanksgiving broadcast. And other than the other day, for about a couple seconds, I haven't streamed since then. So, yes, it has indeed been a while. And uh, I was doing my various series on my different chips, and by Thanksgiving I pretty much um, figured that out. And my thought processes now with regard to this game are more along the lines of now what? Um, and what really amounts to is I've got these ships functional, still being redesigned, but functional. And I want to I want to I want to put this world on a server, something that runs more reliably than my laptop and can accommodate more people, so we can get something going here. Because I've seen some stuff coming out on YouTube. These folks that uh, play this game a lot, and um, the, I get joy out of building things in this game, but um, this game is much better when you play it with other people. And I've been thinking about how I can get other people to join me in a way that's not so haphazard like it's done on most servers. Um, because what I have observed on YouTube and Twitch about doing things on servers is that there is one approach to playing this game that um, that is far and away more likely to happen than others, and that is you open up a server, uh, you and your friends. Um, the server will have a planet, at least one. Um, Everybody will go to that planet. They won't necessarily all go to the same spot. In fact, usually everybody picks their own spot on the planet. They all land and immediately start building an impenetrable base and some sort of uh, uh, fighting machine, at least a fighter, but uh, more likely some sort of battleship. Um, and then either at some point uh, they all then go at each other. And that's called playing Space Engineers. And while I can see some of the compulsion to do that, some of it is kind of built into the game to some extent, but it just really seems like your choices are either that or just build. I don't know. I don't know. Um, why there's so little impetus to do something else. And um, you right now, and probably other people who might watch this video later, are saying, well, what else is there? And that's a good question. Um, and it's a question I'm going to try to answer. Um, but before I do that, um, I want to. The only reason I'm doing this stream right now is I want to showcase this space station here um, because uh, this is a station that I built back when Keen was having a space station contest. Um, and I believe that contest came out right after these, uh, well, all the blocks that you see here was that first round of decorative blocks that came out, and that was right after the economy update, or I might have that backwards. But between the two of them, the new blocks and the economy update, Keen wanted to do a contest to kind of highlight that stuff. So they made this space station building contest, and but the contest had a lot of restrictions. Um, the size, the shape, not the shape, but the size, the number of PCU, um, and the number of blocks, and of course, it all had to be all vanilla. And I believe the winning space station was supposed to appear in the game, um, and I don't know that that's happened. That contest was several years ago, um, but when they gave the restrictions on the PCU and everything, I said to myself, I mean, how I build. It's very difficult for me to build something small because I want to get inside the thing that I build, and that's what makes it big. So I said that you couldn't make a space station like that. So I didn't want to participate. And then over the course of several weeks, some of these space stations started appearing on Twitch and in YouTube, and I was looking at them and I said, I don't know, maybe it can be done. So I had to go back and rethink it. And um, I looked at some of my first attempts, and I said, well, I don't need that block, and that doesn't need to be on there, and so forth and so on. And eventually, um, oops, eventually, um, I built. I hope I'm someplace where there's a sun. Okay, where maybe I need to. Am I that far away from my own? Uh, Not that far away. I eventually did come up with something, but by the time I got it all cleaned up and finished, the contest was, I mean, I was too late. So I just, I think I did put it on the workshop, but I just let it go. And then some things happened, and I thought I had lost it completely. Um, I lost track of several blueprints that I had done. Um, but I was dinking around trying to get things working, and it turned out that I did save it in the cloud, and I found it, and um, I do these workbench worlds, I call them, which are these creative worlds where I work on my ships, and so I just decided I just use it as a point of reference uh, in this world that I've got here now, where I'm working on what are going to be the ships that when I start my I don't even know what I'm calling it yet um, series. Man, this is acting. Why am I not going straight ahead? Anyway, there it is. It's taking me forever to get to this thing here. I've already put JV to sleep. It's the only reason he tunes in anyway. Okay, a lot of weird things have been happening. Was I going up to? Is that why that? I don't know. It's not going. It's not going in the direction of going sideways. Why is? Anyway, this is the station. This is what I came up with. And uh, it's a station. You can call it a station. I don't. Um, I don't see the point in a station this small. I mean, it's not. I put these. Um, oh yeah, that's right. I'm in the spectator mode. I put these oxygen generators on here so that it could make oxygen. Um, I don't know if that makes enough oxygen. I don't play survival, so I don't know how many you need or what to get anything accomplished. But um, so I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to supply enough oxygen to keep the station going. And You know, the only reason I could think where you might have a station like this is if it was generating hydrogen from, I've got these. Oh, that's not on any of these ships, but I have these blocks that use algae and sunlight to create hydrogen. Then you could store that, and people could come here and this could be like a fueling station. Um, Other than that, maybe put a bunch more solar panels on it and make it a recharging station. But more panels would have, then it wouldn't have worked in the contest. I believe JV has AI that set up the when you make a remark about him not being awake, it automatically generates um, a text and chat that would have you believe that he is. But I know better. Anyway, I mean, JV, you have seen this ship. You know this ship. Well, you don't know this ship because you know its sister ship. But I mean, if I've got a ship this big, why am I stopping at a station this small? I mean, what could I possibly want from this other than it's a store outpost? Oh, and it's got the contract block in it too, so I could stop here and get a contract. I don't have a radio on my ship or some sort of communications device where I got to stop at this station to do that. I mean, it's just weird. It's where the whole economy thing was just weird, but uh, not to the point where a person couldn't figure out a way to finagle it to make it seem more practical or realistic. But I mean that's my even my small ships. This is my expedition prospecting vessel. Damn it, I'm upside down. This is one of my small ships, and as a practical matter, I don't know, maybe, because I am ignoring my other small ship, which is this one. This is my ship for landing on planets, and it doesn't look huge compared to the station. So I guess maybe something I don't. Well, actually, a lot of people are flying around in this game in ships that small. I don't know. Okay, so I made the station and I wanted to do something different. And I always like messing around with gravity. Chat JV TV. Uh, yeah, I don't, maybe because I mean I understand that the idea was to incorporate the winning station into the game, and they couldn't incorporate a big, huge, giant station like something I would build into the game. They wouldn't do that. I understand that. Okay. Um, I guess if this were a well populated area space and there were a number of these stations around, not really that far apart, maybe like in the game, just far apart enough to where the trips take the trip might take a while, but not forever like it does, like when you're going from planet to planet. I can see where something like that might work. I don't know. I'll find out because I'm going to be doing this stuff, I guess. So I just have to figure it out. But coming back inside, I wanted to do something to make it stand out from all the other entrants, and I knew that it wasn't going to be looks, because although I build a lot of stuff, I don't, outside of that one ship up there, that's the only one that I built for looks. All the rest of them just ended up being the way that they are, with no regard for looks. And that was pretty much the idea with this thing, but I wanted to do something that I was pretty sure nobody else did. And so this is what I did. Damn it. It always happens on this side. Okay, let's try this again. This should just be a walk, but I think something happened. I never used to have problems doing this, but all of a sudden I do. Probably because I went too slow. See, there wasn't enough PCU left over for me to like put sensors in here or something to do this. That's why I have to do this like this. Sensors would have made it easier on folks, but okay. So even though it looks like I turned around and went back where I came from, I did not. Um, it's just like now, there's the other ship. And I don't remember which. Yeah, this is the right window. There's my cargo ship, but it's upside down. No, it's just oriented differently because we are in space. I mean, I could walk around and tour this, but I just made one of these and then made a copy of it, flipped it over and put it underneath, and then I put this corridor between them and configured the ramps and things so that you could walk from one to the other without having to do anything. Damn it. And that usually works, but I don't know. I guess, there have been updates and things, and something got tweaked, and this was like, I made this so that you could just walk around from one to the other. So you didn't have to pick any particular. Yeah, okay. I might have to tweak something because it used to be I could do this all day. I'm going to have to make a close all doors things too. I'm forgetting where I am now. I want to go back up there. No, 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 I don't. I want to go this way because I want to go into the other ship. Okay. Oh, orbiting planets. Okay, well, yeah, because it doesn't make a lot of sense for a station this small to be out in the middle of nowhere like this. There's no planet in this world. Um, so yeah, I guess maybe something that's somewhat near a planet. Now I put the reason I designed this ship the way I did was so that there would be two of these connectors, but they both could be in use at the same time, but the ships using them wouldn't interfere with each other. Um, and then I had no thought of any of my existing ships in mind when I built this station. So, um, and frankly, when I built all my ships, the only thing that I worried about them connecting up with was each other. Um, but the more I worked on those ships, the more I began to think about um, you know the way that people build ships that connect to each other, and that there's no standard. But in real life, there'd have to be. I mean, right now, like with submarines, they have you build a submarine. Um, in your military, you build a submarine. You have a standard docking port on that submarine, um, so that anybody can hook up to your submarine, because when you're stuck on the bottom of the ocean, you don't care who comes to save you, and you want them to be able to get in and save you. So you make a standard port. And I'm pretty sure right now that the standard is whatever the ISS is using as far as a docking port. And I think it would be a good idea for folks, without necessarily having to come up with a new part, to just come up with a new docking standard, um, so that you could build a ship and put it on the workshop and know that that ship will dock with any station or any other ship that's on the workshop. I think that's something we should strive for. And uh, I am a big fan of uh, those uh, uh, um, docking uh, docking rings and I can't remember his name now, but I'll probably get back to it eventually. But the ones with the force field that you can just walk through, so you don't necessarily have to open and close a door. Um, I think that's a standard that Keen should look at and maybe incorporate into the game. But anyway, this ship here, it's it has these connectors on it that I use to connect with my other ships, and but they are hooked up to the conveyor system, and so I thought, I wonder if I could connect it to this station, and I found a way that I could and actually gain access to the ship um, from the doorway here. Of course, there's no physical connection, but um, if you shut off your or turn on your jetpack, you can fly right up in here. Well, I have built my own shuttlecraft. Um, and to be fair, I did create a station to be used in orbit around planets, but it's a much bigger facility intended for much bigger craft. Um, but this is space engineers. There's room for everything, so I'm not gonna. I brought the station in here, like I said, just as a point of reference, and I wanted to get a video of it in its current state because all these new blocks came out, and they would work really well inside that station, give it a little more life. Oh, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So I've been having some controller issues. I don't know if you know that I redesigned this ship and put these elevators in here. Oh, I left that door open. Yeah, look at that. Fully pressurized. The door's wide open. This is a modded block. I don't think it works right. Well, thank you for that, JV. Um, although I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to call bullshit. That's right, you heard me. I'm calling bullshit. You know why? Because you don't stream. You say that you quote um, have always used a bunch of smaller ships, and you say that you don't build on the scale that I do. You say all of these things, but what, where are they? How come I can't turn on my computer and fire up Twitch and sit and lurk in one of your streams? What, on YouTube? Because I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of people going from Twitch to YouTube, and I think I know why. Oh, you didn't stream SE. Yeah, okay. I see. SE's Space Engineers it's an okay game and everything, and it's all right to play and everything, but to stream, nah, I'm not streaming that because nobody watches you. Just look at Star Driver. I get it. It's okay. I totally understandable. Uh, okay. Well, um, like I don't build on this scale because I'm just obsessed with building big. I build at this scale because this is the scale of the game. This really is the scale of the game. They just didn't know it when they made it. You know, when they came out with this with the game, they had ships like Big Blue and Big Red. You weren't supposed to get inside those ships. You know, they had that one space inside the ship where you can get in there and sit in the control seat, and then you're supposed to fly that ship third person. And that was playing space engineers. The idea of sitting in a cockpit and flying a ship as large as Big Red. Um, that was so foreign. Now they understand because they finally got around to building these interior blocks, and these interior blocks, you know, they're a block. There's they're a block. They're as big as a block, and you know, and everything has to accommodate a full size astronaut. And this is what you get. I mean, this ship maybe did not. Sometimes, you know, you think maybe it didn't have to be this big, but it does because it's a deep space mining rig, and it needs to be able to hold a lot of cargo. And honestly, now that I've narrowed down the number of drones I'm going to have on this ship, uh, there's going to be more cargo containers. This area here to me looks empty. There's room here for cargo containers, which means I can stay out longer and come back with more, which would be the point with a ship like this. So, um, and this ship, My most complicated ship ever. Um, I had to go back and re-examine what I was doing with this ship, and don't mind this back part here because I've been trying to reimagine this part of the ship, and I'm trying to get that stern wheel or yeah, stern wheel look. And with the size of the ship, these uh, reactors themselves weren't getting the job done. So I had to build some kind of structure to make it look bigger. And, you know, it's hard doing circles in Space Engineers. So, um, but anyway, this was that door I'm talking about. This is, I think this is a great idea. And this idea of there being this barrier here that you can just go through. Um, I always talk about shields in Space Engineers being unrealistic, but this isn't a shield. It's a uh, it's a barrier. Um, the and on the inside of this ship, you're going to have air in here at a pressure of 14 and a half or so pounds per square inch. That's not a lot. A barrier like this, they've been made. It's been done. It's been done. Uh, uh, it's an electrostatic force field. It's static electricity. Um, it 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 can create a barrier that is strong enough to hold an atmosphere inside a vessel of up to uh, 1 atmosphere. Oh, you got a new PC? Um, I, I, I hope you got one of those big fancy um, video cards because that seems to be my bottleneck now. You notice me as I move around in this game. It's all uh, jerky and all of those stops and starts and what have you. It's due to the video card. It's laptop. It's a chip. The video chip trying to keep up with what I'm doing. It's not working very well. And there's something with the game too because I've watched streams where I know that there are people there that have um, uh, much better setups than I do, and there's this where the game just kind of skips a beat every now and then, and I've noticed that with other people too. So I know part of my problem is the graphics card, but there's a much deeper problem going on with the game. Um, and then let's try to build the smallest ship that you can that still gets the job done. Yeah, and you know I've actually tried to do that too, but sometimes I run into things that just like I've tried to build some stuff using small grid because when you use small grid you can get a lot better looking ship, because the blocks are more, or they're They're just they're smaller. It's higher resolution. You can build some really nice looking ships, but you need a lot of blocks to do it. Um, but it turns out that, yeah, I mean, you know how it is, that there are more large grid blocks than small grid blocks. Um, and I was going to build a ship um, specifically for transporting people, not a ship, but more of a container for transporting people. And I was going to do it in small grid, but I wanted to use those decorative blocks, and I didn't know it, but they don't come in small grid, so I had to do it in large grid. And you know, when you're using large grid blocks, you end up with a large ship. I don't care how small you try to make it. Um, but this ship here, um, yeah, I hear that. I think my next computer is going to be a PC, just because um, with a laptop, there's no way to get a better video card. You know, it's you get what you get, and it just seems like whenever I buy something, well, it's like this card. It's a 1060 Ti, which at the time when I bought it, um, the 1080 was the top of the line, and but I said 1060 ought to do it, so I went ahead and bought the laptop. And like within minutes after I bought it, we're well past the 1000 series. Now everything is what 30, 60, 80, just God, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. But to play this game, you've got to have the most robust stuff. Um, if you want smooth gameplay, and especially if you want multiple people in your game, um, it's just something that's um, I'll get there. I'll get there. Anyway, you may have seen this ship before, and one of the things about it was I had all these fancy staterooms inside. You know, big double beds and stove in or kitchen in every room, private shower, all that, just all that luxury stuff. And even though I'm not in that business, I'm not in the passenger business. I'm in the mining business with a side of freight hauling. Um, and while in my head, the evolution of this company would eventually include some of that luxury passenger service. I had to take this ship back to its roots and turn it back into a pure cargo ship with some rudimentary passenger accommodations. So I took all the rooms out, and when I did, I got this space here, which um, I believe is more in line with what a cargo ship um, would look like, especially if it's carrying loose cargo that doesn't fit neatly into a cargo container. And it was always my intention to have uh, two of these ships in my fleet. So um, this one will be the pure cargo ship, and the other one will be the hybrid cargo ship. It'll still have the fancy rooms and everything in it, but it'll be a cargo ship. But this one is the pure cargo ship, and we're going to call this the first one. And then the other one, if I do a series, the other one will come in later, but this will be the first one. Um, the first ship in the fleet will be this one because this is the one that makes the money. And it's an exploration ship. It's fully self-contained. Grow my own food, make my own oxygen, hydrogen, whatever. Accommodations for crew, jump drives, and everything you need to mine rocks in space. And this is where the adventure begins. So all I really need to do is I have not put the crewed accommodations on here yet. That needs to get built. And as far as uh, a ship that is as small as it can be yet still gets the job done, that would be this one right here. Um, this is a ship that goes out and finds the asteroids that I'm going to mine, and it it can accommodate a crew of 4. And I found a way to shoehorn 4 people in this ship. Um, I had to use modded blocks to do it, but um, did this ship have a jump drive? No, this ship does not have a jump drive. That's right. But it can support 4 people for I would say a couple months on its own, and you know, Felix Pedro here is its mothership, and try and I'm it's in large grid because I wanted to use these blocks, and they're only large grid. Of course, it's a mod. Um, but I like the performance I get out of these rockets. It makes the ship very maneuverable at low speed, but of course there's very the the acceleration leaves a lot to be desired. So when you're ready to go somewhere, you have to use more conventional. But it's not fast, but it doesn't need to be. I mean, it's not fast in that, it takes a while to get up to speed. Um, but I think this and, well, actually, this one and the other one over here, this one named Sourdough Jack, uh, and then this one's named Otis, and they're both made from the same platform. They're the same layout, uh, pretty much, but this one this one isn't designed to um, do any space travel. This is just a planet to orbit ship. It's officially called a crew transfer vessel, although it's obviously designed to carry cargo. It's supposed to be versatile, and but it's not. It's an aerospace craft. It's not a true spacecraft or a true um, atmospheric craft, and it's not made for flying around in space, and it's not made for flying around on the planet. It's just get down there, load, unload, whatever, and get back up. But as far as size, this was once when you build it so that you can be inside of it, that pretty much um, lets you know how big it's going to be. If I didn't have to worry about people being able to walk around in it, it would be a lot smaller. But then it would be a drone. Uh, and this also, I'm using that Vector OS script on these, and boy, there's some kinks to be worked out in that setup, but it's almost working. I just need to fine tune it a bit. This is still running? God. I swear to God, every time I see this thing, I turn them off, I leave the game, I come back, and they're on again. Okay. Well, while you're thinking about why that is, I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back.